call the regular council land use meeting to order and look at application number 1, Cloverdale Clayton area.
Move the recommendation.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Moving to Fleetwood Guildford, number 2.
Move planning recommendations on 2.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move planning recommendations on 3.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On the zoning, move first.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move second.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move public hearing be set for Monday, June 29th.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. The next one, number 4, is a denial. Before I ask for the motion, is the applicant here and does wish to speak to this denial motion? Okay, sir.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor and Honorable Councillors. We run the child care centers, and before we bought this property, we asked the city staff whether we should go with that property or not for the rezoning, and they didn't say that what the issues are. The issues they gave in the denial reports are not really, it's all about the future. Like they don't know when the LRT is coming, or like they're talking about the left turn for 8 parents, including 16 parents, sorry. But I'm a realtor. That particular left turn takes 3,000 realtor for last 33 years. There is no neighborhood concern. We have a support letter of 75 parents. City said that only 1 in live-in area, but it not necessarily. We have other centers where people come from Cloverdale, people come from Scott or Langley to the Fleetwood. These centers, it's existing center with the 8 kids. What you are asking for, just 16 more.
My understanding is this property is ultimately slated for a higher density based on where it is. Have you spoken to the planners about asking for a temporary use for this child care center while the plan unfolds?
Well, they told me for TUP, which is for 3 years. Now, I understand the OCP is MF. But all the properties in the neighborhood are single family. Some of them are less than 5 years old. And I have a doubt, being a realtor for the last 10 years, that it will take a lot of time to get to the MF multiple family there. And like basically what they ask about the future multifamily and LRT. Now LRT will be good for the child care. People will come, drop the kids, and take the LRT.
Do I have any questions of the applicant? Okay, hearing none. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. What is wish of council?
Madam Members, can move recommendations, please.
Do I have a seconder? Second. Okay, speaking to the denial. Any speakers? I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And please, sir, you do have the option of asking for a temporary use permit for not only 3 years, but for an extension beyond that 3 years after that for another 3. Thank you. Moving on, number 5.
Move the recommendation on number 5.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On the zoning, move first.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move second.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move public hearing be set for Monday, June 29th.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Number 6, South Surrey.
I'll move the planning recommendation, which is to refer this application to the Agricultural Land Commission.
Do I have a seconder?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move planning recommendations on number 7.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move planning recommendations on number 8.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On number 9, move planning recommendations.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On the zoning, move first.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move second.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And move public hearing be set for Monday, June 29th.
All those in favor? Oh, I don't have a second. Sorry. Jumped ahead of myself. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On 10, move planning recommendations.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On 11, move planning recommendations.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On the zoning, move first.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move second.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move public hearing be set for Monday, June 29th.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On 12, move planning recommendations.
Second. All those in favor? Seconder?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On the OCP, move first.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move second.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move public hearing be set for Monday, June 29th.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On the zoning bylaw, move first.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move second.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move public hearing be set for Monday, June 29th.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move planning recommendations on 13.
Second. Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move planning recommendations on 14.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On the zoning, move first.
Second. First. Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move second.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move public hearing be set for Monday, June 29th.
Second. Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On 15, move planning recommendations.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On 16, move planning recommendations.
Second. All those in favor? Councillor Villeneuve.
We just had an email from a resident that's adjacent to this property expressing some concerns about the impact on her property that ranged from drainage to having to give up more property for roads, etc., and that it wasn't quite compliant with the NCP in the area. And I was wondering if you could address whether it does have an impact on the adjacent property. I just couldn't really tell. I had a notice of concern from her, and then a notice of information from Roger Jawanda, but I'm not really clear on what kind of impact it would have on her property.
Yes, Madam Mayor, to Councillor Villeneuve. Yes, the applicant or the neighbour to the north did raise some concerns with the proposal. The subject variance is just to assist in tree retention on 2 of the proposed lots, the 2 larger lots on the western edge of the site. The proposed subdivision is in keeping with the existing RF zoning of the property and is consistent with the NCP. Staff have advised the applicant to contact the neighbour to the north to try to mitigate some of those concerns.
Okay, so they are contacting her to mitigate the concerns and to give her clear information, is that correct?
That's correct,
okay,
yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem. Call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. 17 is a denial. And before I put that to the floor, I'm wondering if the applicant is here and wishes to speak to the denial.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I'm representing Rogers, but TELUS is also here in the audience. But what we're proposing is a 41-meter shared telecommunications infrastructure for both Rogers and TELUS antennas. The proposed tower is located on industrial land at 18940 94th Avenue, North Surrey. We followed Surrey's telecommunications policy, and we've completed the public consultation process where a mail-out of approximately 103 notification packages were sent and yielded to one response where they suggested having the tower located on their residential property south of Highway 1. We feel that this is an appropriate telecommunications proposal where we're sharing infrastructure between TELUS and Rogers, as well as having it sited on industrial lands. And we ask that Council reconsider staff's decision.
And what about the concerns staff had around making the telecommunications tower more appealing?
We looked at various options, and for us, we could flush mount the monopole onto, flush mount the antennas onto the monopole, but that could be something that Council could recommend back to us for resolving with.
Flush-mounted antenna.
Flush-mounted antennas, that's correct.
That's what they should be.
Any questions of the applicant?
I have a question then of staff based on that. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Okay, Councillor Hain.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My question then is to staff. Given that then the applicant would be willing to flush mount on the pole, does that change staff's position on its recommendation if aesthetically it's being improved? I realize that staff has some other concerns about height versus proximity to the lot line and so on, but given that it's up on Highway 1 away from residential area for the most part, again, does flush mounting the antenna change staff's position? Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Mr. Planner?
Council could refer back the application to staff and we could review it accordingly.
Okay, staff recommends referral back. Thank you, sir, for your comments.
Madam Mayor, if I could, then I would make that recommendation to refer back to staff.
Second that. Okay. Speaking to now referral motion, seeing nothing, I will call the question on referral. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Number 18.
Move planning recommendations on...
Second.
Is it 18? Yes.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On 19, move planning recommendations.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And move planning recommendations on 20.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Madam Mayor, I'm going to move the planning recommendations on 21 to get it on the floor for discussion.
Second. All those in... Oh, for discussion. Okay. Councillor Gill. You going to speak to it?
Did someone second it?
I did. Yes. Second.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I've had a number of concerns in terms of the current land use and the proposed land use in the future. In fact, where I was having some difficulty on this particular application was really understanding the relocation assistance program, and I didn't see it within the package, so just wanted to ask staff where that particular document was.
Councillor Hepner to Councillor Gill, or Mayor Hepner to Councillor Gill. It was attached as an appendix, as I understand it.
Was it? I missed it then.
Everyone missed it.
Okay. Does that satisfy you, Councillor Gill?
Satisfies me.
Okay. Councillor Steele?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Did you want to go on from this, or do we need a motion to pass the OCP? I'm sorry.
It's on the floor right now.
Okay, so I
I'm
can
taking
go on
comments
all
about
readings
it.
as well?
Yeah. No.
No. All right.
No. Did you have a comment? It's for a comment.
No, I'm fine then.
Okay. Then I have Councillor Villeneuve.
I would just like clarification. I understand that they're in discussing this project that the applicant feels that it has to move forward first and second in order to meet the criteria for DFO to be able to do the work on this project, that you have to give a year's notice. Did I understand that correctly? I just want to know what responsibility we have on a project like this to notify DFO that Do we have a year's notice that we have to give them? I don't understand that policy.
So Mayor Hepner to Councillor Villeneuve, there are two different issues. The year's notice is for the Residential Tenancy Act to meet the requirement for the 1 year's notice. The works that are proposed for the creek are to be completed in the summer months. So they are suggesting that a year from now they could complete the works.
So in order to be able to complete them a year from now, do we have to move this project forward today for DFO?
The applicant is suggesting that they would need to have the works completed next summer, and they are looking for approval in principle prior to the summer break so they can meet that timeline.
Okay, thanks.
Councillor Laflamme.
Hepner. I'm just a little bit concerned about the relocation plan. It seems like it's not that clear. And so I would like to suggest that we send this back to staff. I know that's not on the table right now, but just following up with Councillor Gill, I'm wondering if there is, I would be willing to see this come to public hearing, but I really would like to see a really clear relocation plan and really respectful relocation plan for the residents of the Park Mobile. And I think that it's important for us to set a standard here of how we redevelop manufactured home parks, and I think it's important as we grow as a city, and I see that there are lots of members here today, and it's important for them to be heard and also to be treated well. And that's not saying that Westone has not done so. I'm just saying that it's important for us to make sure that we don't rush the process and that we make sure that we dot all our I's and cross all our T's.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Hain.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I certainly appreciate what my colleagues are saying about looking at the transition plan and doing it, if we move forward with this at all, to do it in a respectful way and to look at this transition plan in more detail. I think we can achieve that by granting it first and second today. That doesn't mean that the project goes ahead. That doesn't mean that anything will occur, because the public process still has to occur. We need a public hearing and so on. But if we are to grant first and second today, we don't potentially jeopardize the work with DFO and the timeline that is being proposed. At the same time, we could delay the public hearing for not the next meeting, but perhaps the meeting after that, giving us a month so that the proponent can work more closely with the residents, can work closely with staff, and perhaps look at that transition plan in a more fulsome way, because quite frankly, I only saw a copy of that transition plan this morning. I think most of my colleagues did as well, and so it would be, I think, prudent to have a longer, closer look at that transition plan. But I, at the same time, don't want to feel like we're unduly holding up the process, getting to the public hearing and listening to the community, listening to everybody involved. So that would be my recommendation, is that we continue to move it forward first and second today, with a view to delay the public hearing component for a couple of meetings.
You're talking about delaying the public hearing until we have a better understanding of the relocation plan.
Correct, correct, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Councillor Steele.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I would agree with Councillor Hain. I think that would be the prudent way of doing it, and by no means do I want to undermine the concerns of the residents that live there. We did just see the plan, plan to move today, this morning, and we haven't had a lot of chance to give it some thorough consideration, so I think we need that time. And I think we need to move it, the public hearing, to a time where we can give full consideration to the concerns of the residents as well as the applicant, and make sure that we are able to complete this fully and not crowd the public hearing, and also give ourselves a lot of time to consider the ramifications of this application. So I would recommend moving first and second and then holding the public hearing after.
Thank you, Councillor Steele. Seeing no other speakers, could I just get clarification from the clerk? Do we have the entire resolution on the floor right now for a second and public hearing?
No, you just had it on the floor to discuss, and it was the planning recommendations.
So that the planning recommendation is
Yeah.
first, second, public hearing. Okay. So I will entertain another motion. Or do you want to withdraw that motion, Councillor Gill, or shall I call the question on it?
I'll withdraw my motion.
Doesn't sound like it's going to pass. I can call the question. It could fail if you like. Okay. You withdraw the motion and speak to it? Okay.
Madam Mayor, Meyer, I did find the appendix here. I just must have missed it in my reading over the weekend. But certainly, I think my concern really with this application is really just how the precedents that we may set at the city, given that we've got similar issues down King George Boulevard and other areas of Surrey. And really what I'm looking for is a robust plan that would really be the precedents as we move forward and the expectations of developers. So I just want to be fair to not only the developer but also the residents, but certainly my intent would be to ensure that we have a very high standard in terms of what we're trying to achieve, and in fact that we have a win-win situation with both the residents and the developer, including obviously the city. So that being said, my only hesitation tonight really is, does the relocation assistance program, is it all encompassing and is it all inclusive? Certainly I can suggest that I could wait until July 13th, I think is the date that Councillor Haynes spoke of in terms of delaying it for additional 2 weeks. But certainly I would like to have a kind of a robust discussion, and I'm not sure if staff could provide us with some context if there's any issues or unresolved items or something that could make this particular document even more robust and stronger as it sits. So that's really where my concerns are.
Thank you, Councillor Gill. I think it's fair to say that we don't have enough information to put this through to public hearing, and we're not comfortable with the plan without an analysis by staff that the plan is working. So that would have to come back to this council before we went to public hearing. Now, so the options are one of two. We can refer it, and I'm assuming from what I heard from Mr. Engineer, there is no direct timeline issue. It's the entire summer months. We were hearing differently earlier on, but I got clarification from Mr. Engineer.
Madam Mayor, just to add to those comments, as I understand it, the developer will be doing some interim drainage works this summer. But as part of the overall project to relocate the creek to the north side of the development, that will be done after third reading, and we will carry through that design process with DFO's input, and then they will be looking towards construction towards the fisheries window in the summer of next year, 2016.
So the timeline in terms of having another report after analysis to us in June and then moving at some later date to a public hearing does not jeopardize that?
That's my understanding of the timeline. Yes.
Thank you. Okay. What is the wish of council?
I'd be delighted to refer this back to staff, Madam Mayor.
Second.
Motion to refer on the table.
Second.
No speakers. I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed?
Opposed.
Opposed? How many do I have opposed? 3. 4. Okay. So, all right. I see no real difference, frankly, in a referral or in a first, second, and referral. So.
I can't get my button to work.
You can't speak.
Okay, thank you. I think the confusion is that there is no emergency as far as moving the creek. The emergency and the year's notice is to give a year's notice to move the residents, and I believe that is required in order.
There is another meeting in June, June 29.
Okay, so we will have time to do that at that time?
We'll meet any timelines prior to the end of June and then have the opportunity to have a better understanding of the plan. Am I correct, Mr. City Manager, Mr. Planner? Have I understood that correctly?
Madam Mayor, it can come back, if it's referred to staff, it can come back to the next council meeting, and then at that time, if notice is given, that gives a full year, and then the fishery windows is normally between July, the start of July and mid-August, and it sometimes extends into September, but that is weather dependent. So it does provide enough time at the subsequent council meeting.
Okay. Then, yes, I support the referral then.
Move planning recommendations on C1.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On the zoning, move first.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move second.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move public hearing be set for Monday, June 29th.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Bylaw 1.
I'll move number 1 and pass a resolution amending the South Newton Neighbourhood Concept Plan to redesignate it as single-family residential to single-family small lots.
All those in favor?
And final adoption.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And rescind resolution 15388 and pass third reading of bylaw 18409.
Second on that.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And amend bylaw 18409 by moving text references, Appendix B and Appendix A and Appendix C.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And bylaw 18409 receive third reading as amended.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And I'll move final.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move final adoption on 3.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Move final adoption on 4.
Second.
Do I need a motion for that DVP?
Do you have to execute the development variance permit?
Be authorized to execute. I need on 3.
Sorry.
After final. Can I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. 4.
Please move final.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And move that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute development variance.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
I'll move that council amend the text for the Sunnyside Heights Neighborhood Concept Plan to
Second.
indicate Grandview Ridge Trail.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And move final.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. DVP? Tom?
Sorry, on number 5, move that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute the DVP 7914015900.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And on the second DVP, move that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute DVP 7914015901.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
On 6, move that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute DVP 7914014600.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And on 7, move that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute DVP 7913010600.
Second. All those seconder? Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And on the second DVP, move that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute DVP 7913010601.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And on the third DVP, move that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute development variance permit 7913010600.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And on 8, move that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute DVP 7914018400.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And on 8B, move that the mayor be authorized to execute DVP 7914018400.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And on 9, move that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute temporary use permit 7914016900.
Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And on 10, move that council is requested to close development application 7911005700 and file bylaw 17439.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Give adjournment.
Exactly. All those in favor? Opposed? And we are adjourned.